Today, I'm going to be counting down my personal opinion of the top 10 roller coasters at King's Dominion. Now, I have done this video before, however, it was a long time ago, and I didn't like the list very much. I recently have rode Twisted Timbers, and plus, my opinions on all their coasters have pretty much changed since then, so I've decided to redo this list. So let's get right into it. Coming in at the number 10 spot is Apple Zapple, formerly known as Ricochet. This is the wild mouse at the park, and what separates this from most of the other wild mouses, or mice, is basically that it has a first drop, which is actually kind of fun. It's a fun drop. The new color scheme looks improved. However, the ride itself is just okay. Now, moving on to the number 9 spot, unpopular enough, this is Anaconda. I know some people who wouldn't even put this thing close to a list like this. However, I don't hate Anaconda. I just don't love it either. My last ride I got on it was pretty bad. It was kind of rough and shaky. The headbanging near the end was really rough. However, I have had some good rides on it, and I do believe there is hope for Anaconda. I think they should tear it down in order to put in a new ride, such as a B&M invert or something like that. However, it's not as bad as some people put it out to be. It is definitely not the world's worst roller coaster or the worst roller coaster I've ridden. So let's move on to the number 8 spot, which is going to be Backlot Stunt Coaster. I think this is a very fun family coaster. It's by Premier Rides. There are 3 clones of them, one at Kings Island and one at Canada's Wonderland, and it's very fun. It's got a forceful launch, a forceful helix, and a nice indoor section that is a really good adrenaline rush. Overall, Backlot Stunt Coaster is a pretty fun ride and definitely a good coaster to get into if you're just getting into them. It is definitely a nice family attraction. So, moving on to the number 7 spot, we have a really fun coaster. This is Flight of Fear. Now, I recently rode this once again, and I thought it was fun. It's just not as intense as I remember. It can be a little shaky here and there. However, it is still a fun coaster, definitely. I like this coaster, just not as much as I thought I used to. However, the theming for this ride is very well done. There is definitely a theme going on here, and it's very good for Cedar Fair. However, it's nothing like Disney or anything. So we're going to be moving on to the number 6 spot, which is very unpopular. It is Grizzly. This is the old wooden roller coaster at the park by PTC, and I love Grizzly. It's a very fun coaster. It definitely is very rough, and if you're not into this coaster, it will definitely hurt you. My personal favorite row is the back. However, I have never really ridden this coaster in the front before. I don't know why, but for me, I think this is a fun coaster. Not many people like it, however, I do. So we're moving on to the top 5, and number 5 is Rebel Yell. Yes, I refuse to call this coaster Racer 75. I grew up with Rebel Yell, and that's what I'm sticking with, but this is a very fun racing coaster. It is kind of bumpy. However, it is very smooth for a wooden coaster. The airtime is pretty good, actually, and racing the other side is always fun. So, moving on to the number 4 spot, I love this coaster. It is Dominator, the B&M floorless at the park. Now, some people give this coaster a lot of crap for being shaky or not as enjoyable. However, I like Dominator. I think it's a fun ride. It's very smooth, pretty intense for this kind of a coaster. The inversions are a lot of fun. It's definitely one of the top attractions at King's Dominion. I think it is definitely one of the better floorless coasters out there. I don't understand what people are talking about when they say they don't like this coaster, because I think it's brilliant. This is a great B&M floorless. It's definitely not one of the world's best coasters, but it's definitely a fun ride. I love how intense it is and how it transitions. And into the top 3, number 3 is Volcano, the Blast Coaster. This coaster has been down for a few months, but I have ridden this coaster quite a few times before then. It does get some obnoxious lines, but it is always worth it because of how much fun it is. It's super unique. The first launch is awesome. It has some great inversions. Overall, this coaster is just a really fun and thrilling adrenaline rush. Very smooth, too. Now, down to number 2, I recently rode this coaster. This is Twisted Timbers, the RMC hybrid at the park. A very fun coaster. It is extremely smooth, has incredible ejector airtime, the best airtime I've ever experienced, an insane barrel roll drop. I love everything about this coaster. The theming is good, the trains are awesome, it's very comfortable and smooth. All of the transitions and elements to this coaster are amazing. This coaster is absolutely phenomenal. It has great airtime, it has fun inversions. I mean, what's not to love? This coaster has a little bit of everything. It's awesome. So what is the number 1 spot? I don't think this would come as a shock to any of you. This is Intimidator 305, the Intimate Giga Coaster. Personally, one of my favorite coasters of all time. And yes, I do believe this is the best ride at King's Dominion. It is extremely intense, so much fun. It is very, very addicting. The airtime is even good. The drop is incredible. This coaster is so much fun, and I cannot get enough of it. Every time I go, I head straight for Intimidator. So yeah, this was my top 10 roller coasters at King's Dominion updated. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Post your comments down in the section below. What do you think the best coaster at King's Dominion is? Don't forget to like and subscribe, and until next time, coaster fans, I will see you later.